Okay, good evening, everyone. So I'm going to be touching on a touchy subject tonight. Me! Now, I know you're thinking, Matt already gave his icebreaker speech. How did he figure out how to sucker you all into making you sit through another long, going way over the time limit speech again? You can go ahead and let out your suspirations now. So, I spent some time on Pathways trying to figure out what my speech was. And if I can be quite candid with you, the time that I would normally spend working on my speech, I spent trying to figure out what I was supposed to talk about. I'm not super happy. It's just a personal note on the Pathways setup. So perhaps I'm just going to use this platform to send a broadcast out. Maybe I can talk to someone afterwards about the structure and how to go about it. But anyway, I'll just jump right into it. And my assignment is to receive and apply the feedback that I received from my last speech, which was my Toastmaster speech. I have with me a very valuable piece of paper in my world. This is a piece of paper that our president of our club, Doug, gave to me. He was my evaluator for my speech last weekend. Doug, as a personal note, thank you very much for giving this to me because it was a good use, and there's some stuff on there that you just quickly scribbled down that you didn't tell me, but it's on there, and I'm applying it, hopefully actively. My biggest areas to improve on are my ums. I really am thinking about it constantly when I'm talking to people, and I hope that it shows, and I hope that in my Toastmaster life and my life outside Toastmaster life that it's been showing, as well as my eye contact. One of the things that Doug recommended on my evaluation is that I was doing this, and I was making eye contact, but not really spending the time to say one sentence and then move along to the next person. That was one of the biggest things. And then obviously going over on my time. I was allowed 3 to 5 minutes, and I went over by over 10, I think maybe 11 minutes. So the attempt to have that timing in my brain, and it's going to take a long work in progress, but luckily I plan to be here for the long haul, so you guys can all get to see me work and squirm and struggle, and we can all do it together. So another thing is my body language and being able to move through the room and use the use of the floor to make certain points. And kind of cool that tonight's theme is personal improvement, and that's a good topic to be talking on because that's what I'm trying to do. My whole goal of being here is self-improvement. So the fact that I could be here on self-improvement night means, hey, let's have a party. So one of the things I got into in my icebreaker speech was some of my background and some of my interests, and I took you on a long journey of my jobs and things that I worked on and tried to work on. Some of my interests. I'm not going to bore you with that tonight. One of the things that I do want to tell you though is that I'm very interested in being here in terms of the growth and path that's set before me. I know that what I mentioned earlier about Pathways is that it's a bit just cumbersome, so I want to instead just kind of cut through the red tape and try to focus on more of what the goals are for Toastmasters as a big picture. It's to improve ourselves. It's to hone our skills. I was really lucky enough to have Miriam last week stand up and say some nice things in terms of self-improvement. And one of the things that jumped out at me was that she was talking about honing and what honing meant to her. And honing to me is actually a word that I use in my vocabulary quite often because I constantly am thinking about improving, and honing really captures that word. So my overall encompassing goal that I have for Toastmasters is honing myself and honing my skills. And hopefully I can figure out how to do that in a better way and a more streamlined way. Perhaps Pathways is the way for doing that. So in terms of feedback, I am very open to feedback. I want to have an environment that's very comfortable just so you all know, there's nothing you can say that'll offend me in this arena, and I ask you to be brutally honest, Rita. And, and anyway, I look forward to many more weeks of fruit-bearing meetings to come. And thank you very much for listening.